Hey everyone, let's wait for another 2-3 minutes.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah,
Good
very
evening, sir.
good. Yeah, let's wait for another 4-5 minutes so that other also can join. Then we will start it.
So, sure.
So, guys, did you try installing Java at your local machine? Trying setup? Did anyone of you try? Guys, you able to hear me?
Yes, sir. We downloaded the setup.
Yes, sir, we have done.
Okay, so have you tried installing it in your local and have you verified it by setting up the environment variables?
Yes, sir, I have done that before.
Okay, so you got the response in the command
Yes, sir.
prompt, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good.
Like I'm using that IntelliJ thing, sir. Yeah.
Okay, okay, great,
Yes,
great.
sir.
Fine, fine. Okay,
So yesterday I was late, so that I couldn't hear the whole demo. So yeah, I have installed it pre-installed it.
okay, great, great. What about Salman and Shraddha? Did you guys try it out? If not, that is fine, but at least respond so that we can have an interactive session You can ask your doubts if you have. I think Shraddha is facing some issue with the voice. She disconnected again. Let's wait for her, then we'll get started. Shraddha, you able to hear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So guys, let's get started. It's already been 5 minutes. I think nobody else is joining. Okay, so you guys able to see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Sir, it's visible.
So today we will be focusing more on the features of Java. So these are some of the features which make Java more robust, more secure over other programming languages, and it is most widely used in the industries all over the world. So why we make so there are a couple of features that make it is as robust and other make it as the worldwide, and it is used in the corporates and all over the industries. So so first is simple. So what simple means is that the syntax and semantics of the Java is simple. If you guys are aware about any of the programming languages, then you will be able to grasp Java programming language very easily. Fine. And you guys able to view my screen, right? Let me
Yes,
know
sir,
if
it
you,
is visible.
yeah, okay. So its syntax is very similar as that of C++ because C is also having C with classes, object with classes, and Java is also similar. We work on objects, we work on classes in Java. Okay. And why we make it as simple? Because it has removed some of the complicated features which are there in C++, like pointers, operator overloading, explicit pointers, etc. So these are some of the complex which we find difficulties while writing or while understanding in C or C++. So that has been removed from the Java itself, and so that's why we make it as simple. And one more feature here in this, like in C or C++, once we write any program and we are done with the processing everything, so we need to dereference that object from the memory. What do you mean by dereference? Is like so that that object won't take any extra memory in the operating system. So we explicitly do dereference of that object. But here in Java, we don't need to take care of this. We have a feature called automatic garbage collection. So that will take care of this automatic dereference of the object when the object is no longer is used. So that's why we call the Java as simple. So guys, do you have any question on that?
No,
Hello. Yes, please ask.
no, sir. No.
Okay, so you understand why we call it as simple, right? So so I'm repeating again. Its syntax is similar as that of C++. So it has removed complex features like operator overloading, pointers, etc. And dereferencing of objects we don't need to take care. It is already been taken care by the Java itself. So that's why we call it as simple. Hope you guys able to understand, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Thank you. Thanks for your response. So next is object oriented. So why we call it as object oriented? Anyone of you?
Because it's
Harsha,
based, it is based on class and objects. The programming language itself is based on.
correct. So everything we see in Java, we work on objects. Everything, whether it is a class, whether it is we work on any of the functionality, everything we work on Java is on objects itself. That's why we call it as on Java as object-oriented language. Okay, so there are multiple. We call it as OOPS also, object-oriented programming methodology. So there are multiple concepts for OOPS that are like objects, class, and there are some of the main object-oriented features as you might be knowing as you know about C++. So there are multiple OOPS concepts like inheritance, abstraction, polymorphism, and encapsulation. So we will discuss more for this in detail in the upcoming session. So for as of now, you just consider it as object oriented because everything in Java is an object. You got it?
Yes.
Yes,
So everything surrounds us. Everything surrounds us. That we consider it is an object. For example, let's take for the manufacturing industry, we have vehicles like cars, bicycles. So here in Java, we consider all these vehicles, all these cars, bicycle as objects itself. We'll discuss more on this object-oriented in the upcoming session. Let's go to the third one. Third one is portable. So why we call it as portable? Anyone of you? But you know what is portable? Just
yes,
just in layman English terms. Anyone?
like can be changed according to it can be changed, like can be simple or small, that can.
No, don't tell me in the Java terms. What is portable in English? Portable is like easily transferable, right?
So could be fit into
So
any size.
correct,
That's
correct, kind of thing. So why we call Java as portable means so yesterday we saw one simple hello program there. What we do, we just write a sys out. We just print one statement. Hi, I am Unogeeks, right? So once we compile, it will convert .java class file into .class file. So that is bytecode, which is machine readable format, right? Guys,
yes, sir.
there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So that is machine readable format. So if we we compile it on Windows machine yesterday. So let's say Harsha has Linux machine. So how he will work? Salman has other, or Shraddha has some other iOS she is using. So dot class file is um, easily executable on any of the architecture, whether it is Windows, whether it is Linux, whether it is iOS, Mac OS, anyone. So that is platform independent. That's why we call Java language as portable language. So if you compile your application at one end, and if you run in any of the machines, your application will run irrespective of the hardware, irrespective of the platform it is uh, executing. You got it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So we covered simple, we covered object oriented, we covered portable. No, sorry, we covered platform independent. So sorry. Portable uh, is not the thing which I have discussed. So that is platform independent. Portable itself means the same thing, which defines that you take that dot class file and you transfer to any of the machine, and that will be easily executable on any of the machines. So that portable and platform independent both are interrelated to each other. Fine. So next we can jump to the next one, that is secured. So I told you yesterday also why we consider Java over other programming languages is just because of its security. Java provides security which is virus free, which is more secure as compared to any of the languages available in the market. In banking sector, in manufacturing sector, everywhere we use Java as a primary language. If we talk about security, so everywhere we are using Java when it is all about security, securing everything. So let's take a real-time example. So you must be having a bank account with any of the banks, nationalized bank. So if you try to log in into via net banking to your account, so that provides some security which is already implemented on Java platform itself, because it provides more reliable, more secure platforms, more secure uh, internal libraries that makes Java as more secure language. And also, as I told you, that is platform independent. That doesn't work on the architecture. That doesn't depend upon the architecture style you are having. It doesn't depend on any of the architecture on which you are using. So that's why we can run compile application anywhere and compile any application on one machine and run application on any of the machine. So that's why we call it as secure. Okay. So next feature is robust. What do you mean by robust? In English layman terms, any one of you, what is robust?
Capable of handling any kind of harsh conditions kind of things.
Sorry, come again. Capable of handling?
Capable of handling any harsh conditions like that kind of things.
Correct,
Like
yeah.
difficult, yeah.
Very good, Arshad. Very good, yeah. So robust means strong, capable of handling strong things or any of the hard difficulties. So you mean to say we have a strong platform where we are developing application that will handle all the things, all your memory management, all your security problems, lack of pointers, garbage collection, everything that is automatically handled internally by Java itself. So main point is it uses strong memory management. Why we call it as strong memory management? Any one of you? We just discussed. Why we call it as strong memory management? Because
it deletes unnecessary files. Yeah.
no, it automatically dereference your objects. We don't need to dereference objects explicitly. So that is automatic garbage collection of the objects from the memory. So that's why we call it uses strong memory management. Also, why it is robust, we don't it lacks pointers functionality that avoids security problems, that avoid complexity problems. That's why we call it as robust. Third we discussed that is more related to memory management, that is automatic garbage collections of the objects. So these all the things, and also it provides strong exception handling and type checking mechanism, which make Java as more robust, more strong, more capable of handling strong things. I'll repeat why we call it as robust. Strong memory management, automatic garbage collection. It has exception handling, type checking mechanism in Java, and it avoids pointers that avoid security problems. That's why we call it as robust.
Robust.
Okay, so we discussed 6 features of Java, that is simple, object-oriented, portable, platform-independent, secured, and robust. If you have any questions related to the 6 features, let me know. We can discuss on more on that.
Sir, what is in the exception handling, sir?
Exception handling, that's very good question. So exception handling, it is one of the most important features which we will be discussing in the later. That is one of the topic that we will be discussing in the later session. So just now I'll give you just an overview or the brief for this. So exception handling is whenever we occur some error in the code. Let's say we are writing some functionality to write some banking software. Let's say okay, and in banking software, when you are using it or when you are implementing it, you find some error, and you are not able to solve. So what we do in the risky code where we have a chances of getting error, we add some mechanism so that whenever there is an error, it will give some message to the user that hey buddy, there is some error. You just look at this error and solve this and come back again to resolve this. So it is nothing. It's a indication or notification to the user to know that there is some discrepancy, there is some error in the application.
Okay, sir. Yes, sir. Like means that when we code something, if we get an error, it will show the error, sir. So that is called as exception handling, no, sir.
Harsha, come again.
Like when we code something in Java, like the system will show us the error, no, sir.
Correct.
Like
Yes.
in that particular line, there is some problem in the code.
Yeah. Yeah. To
So
handle
the
those errors, we need to write some useful message to the user so that the user will understand what is the error and will rectify that error via exception handling.
oh, okay, sir. So it will be done to the user. Okay, sir. Yes, sir. Understood.
Correct. It is like more like in Java, it will give you some error like uh, some uh, some exception which is already predefined in the Java library, and you might not be able to understand what exactly it means. So we provide a more user-defined message to the user to make it understand, so that he can take the necessary step and remove that error.
Yeah, yes, sir. Understood.
Okay. Salman, Shraddha, any question?
No,
No,
sir.
sir.
Okay, fine. So you're able to follow with me, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let's move to the next. So that is architectural neutral. So what do you mean by architectural neutral is that, so in C and C++ programming, you must be aware about the data types like in, float, char, double. So there is some memory associated with every variable you define. Like for int data type, it occupies 2 bytes of memory, right? For 32-bit architecture. But in case of 62-bit architecture, it takes 4 bytes, correct? But here in Java, whether it is a 32-bit architecture or a 62-bit architecture, so the memory space will be same irrespective of the architecture we are having for a particular system. Whether you are working in 32-bit or whether you are working in 64-bit. So the space variables will get occupied, whether it is int, float, char, double string, or any of the bit. The memory space for any of the variable defined will be same, right?
Yes, sir.
We got it.
Got it.
Okay. So we can go to the next. What is interpreted? Anyone? Why we call it as an interpreted?
Sir, any high level language that's converted into machine code that is interpreted,
Any high level language?
converted into machine code.
Okay. So what so what do you mean by a high level language?
Sir, I know, but I cannot explain.
You try to explain once. High level language. So Java is also a high level language. You told correct only. So why we call it as high level language? Because every .java file, every Java file will get converted to .class file, which is machine readable format. So that's why we call it as high level language, because that is only interpreted by machine itself. No human cannot read that .class file and compile that, or it's not in the readable format for the human eye to read. So you told right that interpreter is like once we convert our .java class file to .file, so that is interpreted by machine only. So that's why we call it as interpreted. Got it?
Yes.
So next we have high performance. So high performance is it is more faster as compared to other native languages. Why? Because it converts the same .java file to .class file, which is more faster as compared to other traditional interpreted programming languages. Got it?
Yes, sir.
That's why we call it as higher performance. It is more faster than other languages. Next feature is multi-threaded. That is very good concepts in Java. Multi-threaded, it is also one of the concepts. We will discuss more on this in detail. But as of now, I'll tell you what is multi-threaded. It's like multi-threaded is like concurrently, parallelly. Like you can execute multiple functionality at the same time using different objects in Java programming languages without relying on other objects. Let's say you want to do summation, you want to do addition, multiplication, subtraction. So all these tasks can run parallelly irrespective of the objects, irrespective of any of the problem in Java. That's why we call it as multi-threaded. We will create multiple threads. We will create multiple objects for the class we were having, and we can execute multiple functionality at the same time, parallel functionality at the same time. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. That what is next one is distributed. So distributed, it is as you guys are freshers, you will not be able to detail. Distributed is like it allows Java allows user to create. Distributed means how I can tell you. So you must guys use Facebook, right? Facebook, Instagram. So there, so that application is distributed. What do you mean by distributed is that that application is deployed to multiple servers at multiple locations. So that's why we call the Java language as distributed, because with the help of network, with the help of uh, uh, internet, you guys able to access those machines which are on different geography, different environment, different geography, different location, and still be able to access that features with with no discrepancy or no error. So that's why we call Java language as distributed. Hope you guys able to relate what I'm trying to say you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay. So next is dynamic. Why we call dynamic? Dynamic is like changing nature. Dynamic means in English is changing nature. It means it's it it means it allows or it makes multiple execute multiple execution of the code, and it doesn't depend on any of the static things. It works or it checkbox depending upon how the user is actually demanding the request and how it actually gives the response back to the user. It doesn't depend upon only the thing which user is asking. Sorry. So, in respective of that, it actually loads dynamic classes irrespective of fetching the objects from the memory. So if you ask about, let's say, you are asking vehicle object, and in vehicle object there are like multiple vehicles, let's say motorcycle, car, bikes. So for all these, so whenever you demand car object, it will give you car object. Whenever you demand bike object, it will give you bike. Whenever you demand truck object, it will give you truck object. So it's not like you rely on one single object in the Java. So that's why we call it as dynamic. It's changing as per the user demands. It will give you the object as per the requirement. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yes.
So here we cover the features of Java. So if you have guys any questions, let me know.
Sir, can you explain the dynamic once again? I
Sorry.
couldn't get it properly. Dynamics.
So dynamic, why we call it as dynamic? I mean to say, it supports dynamic loading of classes. It means like classes are loaded, or you know what are classes, right? So classes are loaded on demand. It will not give, or it will not focus only on a single class. We have, let's say, we have multiple objects, we have multiple classes defined, and let's say we want a response from class A. So it will give that particular object will give the response from class A. Let's say going further, we want response from class B. So we can go and we can have that class. We can have the response from class B. Okay, if I'll give you a real time example. So you go to petrol pump. So in petrol pump, we don't have only petrol, right? As of now, we can buy petrol, we can buy diesel, we can buy CNG, right?
Yes, sir.
So as per the user demand, we can buy any of the thing which is required, right? So that's why we call Java as dynamic, because it doesn't rely only on one single item. It can hold multiple things, dynamic things, which user can demand on the fly.
Okay, sir. Yes, sir. Understood, sir.
Just 1 minute, I'm getting one call. 1 minute. Yeah, guys. So sorry, I got some call. So if you have guys any question for any of the features, we can discuss. Otherwise, we can jump to next thing.
Sir, can you explain architecture neutral?
Architecture neutral, right?
Yes, sir.
So you didn't get it, architecture neutral. So architecture neutral means. So are you aware about C or C++ languages, Shraddha?
Sir, C only.
Okay, C only. That's fine. So you must be aware that whenever you create any variable, Like, let's say you have created one variable int sum is equal to int sum semicolon, right? In C.
Yes.
So in backend, it will take only two bytes of memory if you are using 32-bit architecture. Okay. But if you are using 64-bit architecture, that same object will take 4 bytes of memory. Because for architecture, C is architecture dependent, and it is like for different architecture, different memory it will take for the variables we have defined. Got it? But in Java, it is not architecture dependent, it is architectural neutral or architectural independent, because whether it is a 32-bit architecture, whether it is a 64-bit architecture, so it will take the same memory in the memory management. Like for int, it will take four bytes in the memory for 32-bit architecture also, and for 64-bit architecture also, it will take the four bytes in the memory. That's why we call it as architecture neutral or architectural independent. Got it, Shraddha?
Understood, sir. Yes, yes, sir.
So what you understood, can you please explain to everyone? Shraddha, oh, I can see Shraddha drop the call. There may be some issue with her. Let's wait for 2 minutes for her. Harsha, Salman, any questions on any of the features?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Good, good, great. Let's wait for Shraddha. So you both guys are BTech graduate, right?
Yes, sir. I am.
No, sir. I am BCA third year, sir.
Okay. Okay, Shraddha is back. Okay, so if you guys don't have any question, let's go to the next thing. Let me resume my share. Okay. So yesterday we discussed for this first Java program, hello world example, right? So we are knowing that we need to first install JDK. We need to download JDK and install it. We need to set the environment variable for Java home and path variable, and we need to verify it. And we need to create Java program. We need to compile, and we need to run the Java program. Right? Let's move
Yes,
further.
sir.
Yeah. Any questions?
No, sir.
Okay. Let's go to the next slide. Okay. So there is one feature in Java feature that is OOPS, object oriented. Sorry. So I told you we'll discuss more on the OOPS concept in the later session. So why we call it as OOPS? Because everything in Java is related to object. So what is object? Now the main question comes here. What is object? Anyone?
Sir, object is one of the task or work that one of the target we have to do. That is object.
Something which defines a function, sir. Object is something.
It depends on the function, sir. It's called object.
Salman, can you come again?
Sir, it depends on the functions It's called as object, sir.
Okay. So you are correct as all guys are correct as per your understanding. So let's discuss more on this. So object is nothing. Everything I told you, everything surrounds us is an object. Whether it is house, whether it is pencil, whether it is apple, whether it is book, bag, purse, laptop, anything that depicts state or behavior, chair, bike, pen, car, etc. Anything physical or logical thing, tangible or intangible object. So that thing we call it as object. Okay. So for every object has some properties. Like say, what when I call it as properties, so every object has a state. Every object has some behavior. Okay. So let's say if I talk about air conditioner, let's say. So what is the state of air conditioner? State, anyone? What is the state actually represent the data or value of that particular object. So for AC, there is some cost incurred. There is some cost incurred for that particular AC that defines the state of the AC. So that's why we call, for every object we have a state, we have a behavior, we have an identity for that particular object. So for every object we have a state, we have a behavior. For let's say we are taking example of AC. What is the behavior of AC? It will give you cool air, right? So that is the behavior. That is the functionality. So behavior is nothing but a functionality for an object. State is nothing but, you can say, that represent the data, that represent the value for that particular object. If I talk about in Java language, let's say you need to do summation of two number a plus b, and you have defined two variables a and b, right? And you need to store it in the C. What is C? C is nothing but an object, right? So there is some value. There is some value which will be getting stored in the C, that is a plus b. And what is the behavior of C? It is doing summation of a and b. You got it? What do you mean by object and what are the state and behavior of the object?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Salman, I can see your hands up. So, do you have any question?
No, sir.
Okay, fine. So that is object. So what I told you, say there are some characteristics, state which define which represent the data or value for that object. Behavior nothing but what is the functionality for that particular thing, and identity is nothing. Identity is like some you can say some value which makes it unique. Let's say for you, once if you take admission in college, so there is some college registration number or college roll number provided to you. So that is a unique identity given to you that represent your identity, right? So with same is the case with object also. We have three things: state, behavior, and identity, which makes object as a unique identifier to make it easily identifiable by the Java program itself. Okay. Okay. I'll give you one more real-time example. Let's say we have a pen. We have, let's say, Adgel pen. What what is the name of the pen? Adgel. What is the ink of that particular Adgel pen? Blue color. So that defined a state because there is the data associated for that particular pen. And what is the functionality of the pen? It is used for writing. You got it? So that's why we call every object has a state, every object has a behavior. Okay. So let's
Sir,
go
sir,
to Yeah.
Like, can you explain the need of identity to an object? So, like, what is the requirement for what it is used for?
What is the need of identity?
Yes, sir, identity to an object. Does you have like
Identity
identifier?
identity is actually not needed by us. It is internally used by them for memory management. In memory, we have some indexes, like we have indexes in the book. We have, let's say, we have 10 chapters, and we don't know where we have the chapter number 5. So we go to index, we see, okay, chapter number 5 is at page number 5050. So we jump to page number 50, and we can read, or we can do whatever we want to do with the chapter number 5, right?
Yes, sir.
So same is the case with identity number. So it is basically used for memory management, for the memory allocation purpose. We actually don't need it. It is used internally by the Java itself. Got it?
Yes, sir. Understood. Yes, sir.
Just 1 minute. I'm getting one call. Just 1 minute. Yeah, sorry guys. So the next we have covered object, right? So next feature is class. What do you mean by class?
In the class, we have 10th standard, 11th standard, 12th standard. Like that, it is called as class, sir.
No. So that in Java we don't call it as. So that is not first standard, second standard. That is not a class. So class is like a group of objects which have common properties. So
A
we
group
talk
of
about.
objects have common properties is called class, sir.
Yeah. So we discussed. Just 1 minute. So we discuss about object, right? We discuss what is object. So in a class, we can have a group of objects that for that we call it as a class. When we have a group of objects which is having some similar properties, which will have some common properties, so that defines the class actually. Okay. If I take the real-time example, so Salman said fifth class, sixth class. So let's say you are in 10th class, and in 10th class, there are 10 boys or 10 girls, right? So for all the 10 boys and 10 girls, there is some common property that all are studying in the class 10th, and they will be studying these number of subjects. So they have some common properties, but they are different in their state and behavior. But they have a common goal. They will study all these, you know, they will study the common thing, right? So that's why we call class as group of objects which have common properties, or we can say it is a template from which objects are created. It is actually a logical entity and it cannot be physical. I'll discuss more on the class, what a class contains, what what class exactly contains, because yesterday we just took one example of an example where we are having one class and we were writing something. So we'll discuss more on that going further. So next is inheritance. Anyone, what do you mean by inheritance? That is the main concept actually. Inheritance, polymorphism, abstraction, and encapsulation. These four are the important concepts which you need to know while knowing the concepts. So if you go for any interview, interviewer will ask you first question that what are OOPS concepts.
Sir, inheritance means when we have main class and subclass, the subclass can use the features of the main class. That's what inheritance means.
Yeah, Harsha, very good. Yeah, so you are already aware. That's very good. But if I take example of the layman term, inheritance is like you guys know the parent-child relationship. So you inherit some of the properties from your parents, and your parents inherit some of the properties from your grandparents and from their grandparents. So like this, so you are inheriting some of the properties. So that's why we call it as inheritance, because when we are writing a functionality in Java, let's say we have two classes, class A and class B, and class B is the child class of class A. You got it? Class B is the child class and class A is the parent class. So class B is extending class A. That means it must hold some of the properties which are similar for class A and which are similar for class B as well. So what do you mean by inheritance? Inheritance is nothing but having common properties or inheriting some of the properties from the parent itself. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
You got it, right? So you guys are very smart. You got it at the first place itself, right? Good, good actually. Okay, so let's take another thing. Polymorphism. What do you mean by polymorphism? So polymorphism means one thing and many forms. What do you mean by one thing and many forms? So I'll give you a real time example. You go to Amazon for shopping and okay, so you see, okay, Big Billion sale is coming. Okay, Freedom sale is coming. Let's buy iPhone 14. Okay, you have added iPhone 14 to 56 GB to the cart. So while going to the payment, so you are selecting, oh, what should I do? I'll choose cash on delivery. I'll choose net banking. I'll choose credit card. I'll choose Paytm. I'll choose QR code payment. I'll choose Amazon Pay later. Or what should I do? So what at the last you are doing payment, but payment can be done by different ways. So that is polymorphism. What do you mean polymorphism? I told one thing but many forms. You need to do payment, but you need to do payment with any one of them. So there are multiple payment gateway available, multiple uh, payments ways available for you to choose and do the payments. That's why we call Java as polymorphism, because it provides a way to take opportunity to write the thing in one form, and you can implement that form in the multiple ways. You got it, guys?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
So what we call a polymorphism, one thing, many forms. So
One thing, many forms, sir.
yeah, one thing, many forms. Correct. So if anyone asks you uh, any real time example, can you give me any other real time example for polymorphism? Can you guys think of that?
Like kind of max formula, sir. This can be used at
Sorry,
max formulas, sir. Mathematics formulas. And those can
Mathem-
be used in various purposes, right?
Sir,
Those
like
same formulas in
max formula will use, sir, like that.
sorry, Salman, Harsha, I didn't get you. Can you please explain a little bit more on that?
like I'm saying mathematics formulas, sir. Like we can use them in different purposes, no, sir. Like same formula in different cases.
Yeah, but how you can use in different cases? So if that different cases will result in the same functionality? No, na? So here
So,
in
like,
payment gateway, you are using different functionality, but then what you are doing? You are doing payment, right? So that is common functionality for all the different forms. So for this formula, you are doing different functionality, but at the end you are not doing the common thing, right?
so like kind of setting up different profiles that will come into polymorphism, sir. Like different kind of profiles.
Polymorphism we will implement there where we have one common goal. Common goal. We need to find out what is the common goal. Okay. Okay. How we will implement that common goal using different ways. That is our end goal. Got it? Okay, I'll give you one real-time example. One more. Let's say you want to add two numbers. Okay. You will add two numbers. Okay. Next day, somebody asks, "Hey, buddy, write program for three numbers." Okay. What you will do? You will write one program which will do summation of three numbers. Okay. So next day, one guy will come, "Hey, buddy, do summation of four numbers." You will write one more program for four numbers. So what you are doing actually? Your end goal is summation of numbers, but different form is like you are doing summation of two, summation of three, summation of four. Correct? So that is one more example of polymorphism.
Understood. Sir, like what I meant to saying, like if we have some app, no, sir. Like if we take consider Netflix app, sir, we will be having different profiles, no, sir.
Correct?
We can create. So those all profiles lead to one single functionality, no, sir. Like to open
Correct.
Netflix. That's
Sure.
the work it will do,
Correct.
no. Yeah,
Very
that
good.
kind of thing, sir.
Very good, Rich. Very good. Very good. Appreciate. Good. Very good. You are correct. I can see very less question or very less interaction from Shraddha. Shraddha, you guys, are you able to follow?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Good. Okay. So we cover object, we cover class, we cover inheritance, we cover polymorphism, right? So what is the next one?
Abstraction.
Correct. What do you mean by abstraction? Okay. So this is one of the most important feature in the OOPS. Okay. What do you mean by abstraction is like? Abstraction is like it will show only the necessary things to the user, and what abstraction will do, it will hide what is the complexity. I'll give you the real-time example. Let's say you have an AC in your bedroom. So what AC will do? It will cool your room, right? But how it is cooling internally, how the gas is flowing, how the PCB is working, you are not aware, correct? So that is abstraction. Abstraction. So what do you mean by abstraction? Knowing only the functionality of that particular object without knowing how it is actually working. So you drive a car, you know that I need to accelerate, I need to press brake, or I need to change the gear. But how internally that accelerate, brake, everything is working, you are not aware. So that means an abstraction, a layer of a feature which will hide all the feature, and it will show only the necessary thing which are visible to the user. Okay. One more case I'll take. You switch on your TV, right? You only press the button to switch on or switch off, but internally how the signal flows, how it is working with the TV, you are not aware, right? So that it will show only the necessary thing which is needed for the user. So that is abstraction. Got it, guys? That's why
Yes,
one
sir.
of, we call one of the most important feature is abstraction. Okay.
Yes, sir. Understood.
Yes, sir. Understood.
Okay. What do you mean by okay? Next one is encapsulation. What do you mean by encapsulation? The name itself says capsule. So you must have taken capsule when you were sick or when you have some problem, right? So what that capsule contains? Multiple salts, right? That will cure your disease, correct? So it is encapsulating multiple things which are not visible to the user, and it actually club everything which is good for the user, which will benefit the user, and it will not show to the external world what exactly it contains. So in Java, what we call, it binds all your objects, all your function in a single entity, and it will not show user what exactly that class contains. So in layman term, I take an example of capsule where you have multiple salts, multiple medicines. So you take that medicine and it will cure you, but exactly you are not aware which salt is and what's the quantity of that particular salt. So you are not aware of that. You just know that, okay, if I eat this, I'll get cured by the disease infected to me. So that is meant by encapsulation. In encapsulation in Java is also the same. It will bundle all your objects. It will bundle all your functionality into a single class, and it will do functionality as per the requirement from the client itself. It will not exactly show how it is working and how it will work in the backend. Any questions?
No, sir.
So you guys able to get it? What do you mean by OOPS concepts?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, fine. So let's take 5 minutes break. If you guys, okay, Shraddha, you have any questions? You just raise your hand.
Sir, can you repeat abstraction? I didn't understand.
Okay. Abstraction is like it will show only the necessary things to the user, and whatever the thing which is not needed to the user, it will hide all that particular things. I took example of AC. AC will give you the what is the necessary thing with the AC? It will cool your room. It will give you cool air. It will give you cool air, right? But how exactly internally it is working, how it is giving the cool AC, you are not aware. Correct? So it is
Yes.
abstracting. It is hiding the all the complex functionality, and it is only giving you cool air that you are that you are. I mean that you need. That that's mean by abstraction. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Any questions, Salman, Harsha?
No, sir.
Okay.
No, sir.
So let's take 5 minutes break. If you guys want to have water or anything, so just go and grab it and get back by 8:10. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Guys, are you back? Hello, guys, are you there? Aisha, Salman.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's resume it. So we have covered today features of Java, and we have covered each concepts. What are each concepts? So today, after that, now we will be discussing. Yesterday we discussed one program, so we will be discussing what all terminology, what all functionality we have used yesterday, and we will discuss more on that. So yesterday we have taken this example, public class, hello world example. This is some of the things we have. So what do you mean by all this? We will discuss today. So whenever you write a program, what we need to write, we need to
Import
write.
Java utility scanner, sir.
Sorry, Salman.
Import Java utility scanner. We should write
In which?
in Java.
Sorry, Salman. You are not clear to me. Can you come again?
We should write the import Java utility scanner in Java.
You are asking for imports, right?
Uh,
Yeah,
First program we should write import Java utility scanner, sir.
Salman, can you please be a bit slower? I'm not able to follow you.
Sir,
You are
we
asking
should write import Java utility scanner, sir.
import Java
Utility scanner.
city scanner.
No, sir.
UTI utility scanner.
He's asking that like before the program we'll write those import.java.util, no, sir. Like
Okay.
import.java.util scanner those.
Yeah,
Yeah, those things.
we will discuss. We will discuss why you are why you are in a hurry. We will discuss on this. Let's not jump directly to that part because it is just a starting. If you are aware, might be Shraddha, Salman, or Harsha, or any other guy might not be aware of that. We will be covering that, Salman. Don't worry. Okay. So let's discuss what all the things which we have discussed yesterday. So what do you mean by all this? Let me remove this. This is this. Okay. So whenever you create a program, let's say you need to create summation of two programs. So what you will do, this is like every time you define a class. So class is defined by keyword class, and you can name any name of the class. Let's say today we will give any name like test summation. Let's say this is the name of the class, and it is followed by curly braces. Curly braces start and curly braces end. So this is the class. Okay. What we need to do inside class? We need to define main method. So what is the syntax for main method? Public static void main bracket start string args. This again we need to put enter. We need to add curly braces. We need to close curly braces. So this is the main method. Everything we need to do which will be written inside this main method only. We need to define variables. We need to write summation of two numbers. We need to define payment logic. We need to define any other logic. So everything we will do here only. Okay. So this is like a common for it. This is for common for any of the function, any of the program we will create using Java. Okay.
Sir, like we have written the statement like public static void main. Like does that have any meaning? Like in the sense.
Yes, yes, it has. I'll discuss on this. I'll discuss on this. So
Okay.
this is just a syntax which you need to follow for writing any of the program. We will discuss on this what it does mean. But just keep this in mind. This is the main function, and everything we need to do any functionality, we need to write here. We need to write here. Write here any functionality.
Yes, sir.
Here we need to write. Okay. We need to add two numbers. We need to subtract two numbers. Here. Let's give you. I'll give you one example here. So let's say you need to do the summation of two numbers. You need to define int. Int is nothing but int is a data type. Let's say int a, and we will define one more integer variable, that is int b. Okay, and we'll take one more which will store c. Okay, let's define the values. Int a is equal to 1, int b is equal to 2, and we need to do summation in the c. So what we will do, c is equal to a plus b. Okay, so what C will have? C will have in runtime. Once we execute this code, we will create .class file and we'll run this .java file. So what it will do in the runtime, it will A plus B, 1 plus 2, 3 will get stored in the C in the memory, and it will print if we want to print. So we will print also in the console with system. So this is the line we will use to print any of the statement in the console. System.out.println. We will write sum is equal to. We will give any message. We will have any messages. We can write. Mm, we can write any. C value is. C value is. We can write like this to make it human readable in a good way, user friendly message. Or we can write sum of two number is. We can give we can give colon, and after that we need to give plus, and we need to write C and semicolon. That's it. So this is like summation of two numbers, and these are some syntax and semantics for Java to be followed while writing a program. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So if I give you guys to do multiplication of two numbers, then can you guys do it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So how you will do it? Can anyone of you explain?
C is equal to A star B, so that will give us the value for multiplication.
Slowly, Harsha.
Like, what you have asked is multiplication, right? So, like with the above variables which you have given.
Yes.
So C will be is equal to A star B, sir.
What we will have? C is equal to?
A star B, A into B in the sense like.
Correct. Yes. So here we will just replace A with plus with star. So that will do multiplication of the two numbers. So it will give the result here that multiplication of two number is C in 1 into 2 is 2. So here it will give in the runtime. So you can give. I'm repeating the syntax and semantics for this. You can give any name to this class, but this class keyword will remain same, but this will, you can give any name. Okay, you can give your name Harsha, Salman, Shraddha. Also, if I write it here as Unogeeks, that also works. Class Unogeeks. Okay, this is the syntax you need to write as it is: public static void main, string arguments, then square brackets, and that brackets ends, and then curly braces start, curly braces ends, and here you need to write your logic, whether it is a summation of two numbers, multiplication, subtraction, division, any logic. You need to write some formula. Let's say you have some formula. Let's say we have AP is equal to, let's say any formula. let's say you have c square is equal to c cross c is equal to a cross a plus b cross b. So Pythagoras theorem, if I take c square is equal to b square plus a square plus b square. So that formula also we can write any formula, any mathematical expressions, any calculations we need to perform, we can do here in the Java language. Anything which you can think of or you can't think of, that is also possible here in Java. Okay. So any questions related to syntax and semantics for Java?
No, sir.
Okay. Okay. So that's all for today. So we will be covering more. I'll tell you, we will be covering more on this, more on the functionality of Java, more concepts tomorrow onwards, and we'll be covering some hands-on practice from tomorrow uh, in Notepad itself. And later on, we'll jump to the tool like Eclipse or NetBeans or any of the tools, Java programming tool, HTL, Spring Boot tool. So thank you for today's session, guys. So if you guys have any questions, you can ask. Otherwise, we can wind up the session.
Sir, like, do we have any practical sessions, sir?
Yes, we will be covering practical sessions. So this is like we just started it. So as in the starting session, we will cover some of the theory part also, because without theory, without explaining you the things, you won't be able to understand how exactly the program we write and what are the different uh, things we used to write in a program. So if you directly jumped writing this program, you won't be able to get what is this class, what is this, why we are writing class, why we are writing all these, what is this. So everything I'll explain you first theoretically, then we will go with the hands-on practice with the practical thing. We'll
Okay,
surely
sir.
have practical
Like,
session.
because I have problem in coding, sir. Like, but I do understand all the concepts, sir. But when they give a question, I am not able to code that, sir. So that is my problem.
Okay. No, we will be covering the hands-on sessions also.
Yes, sir. Like, I can't find the main logic when they gave any question in exams, sir. So that is my main problem. Yeah.
Okay, so you need to think logically. You need to increase your IQ level. You need to think
Yes, sir.
logically how you can make that. First, don't focus on how you can write it. Focus on how you
Yes,
can
sir.
implement it. Focus on in mathematical way, how you can solve that thing in a mathematically. Then once you are fine writing the logic, creating the logic, then you can implement that logic in Java. There I can help you how you can write the logic in Java. I'll surely help you on that.
Sure, sure, sure. Yes, sir.
Okay, guys. Then if you guys don't have any question, we can wind up. Okay. Okay. Fine.
Thank you
Thank you.
so
Yes. Tomorrow we'll meet at the same timing, and we'll be covering more topics on that, more hands-on session, and more topics we will cover tomorrow.
Sure,
Fine.
sir. Okay, sir.
Fine.
Okay.
Fine. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Bye.